Hello, welcome to our little corner of Studio A in our Vodcast set. My name is AnaMichele Morejon. I'm the Education and Engagement Coordinator at MetroEast Community Media. And today, we have a very special show planned for you today. We have 3 guests who are coming on who were a part of our inaugural, or our first, maybe not inaugural, but our first Vodcast cohort. Basically, in this cohort, we invited a couple of groups and some interns and volunteers to participate in an experience where they learned how to make a video podcast from pre-production all the way through production. And we're culminating the experience in what I'm calling the Meta Podcast episode, where we talk about their experiences making podcasts by making a new podcast episode. So I would like to invite our first guest, which is Jarrette Werk. Come on, Jarrette. All right. Jarrette, can you tell us a little bit about yourself and your experience with the podcast?
Yeah, sure. I'd love to introduce myself in my language first. Wahe pinitain, nina haba, nanise teinakya, nenana aninin, nahasihana, Jarrette Werk. So, hello, it's good to see you. My Ani or White Clay name is Tsae. My English name is Jarrette Werk, and I'm a reporter and photographer with _Native News. We're a digital nonprofit newsroom based in Portland, and we cover the indigenous communities up here in the Pacific Northwest. So that's all of Oregon, all of Washington, parts of Idaho, and into Northern California. Basically, wherever the salmon swim is our coverage area. And yeah, that's a little bit about me. I have 3 dogs, DiMaggio, Mochi, and Miley, my little babies. Yeah.
And what brought you to the medium of video podcasting at _Native News?
Yeah, so Underscore's a newer organization. We started in 2019, and our team is small, and we're just trying to figure out different ways and to tap into our different audiences. And our team has had some experience with podcasting in the past. Kyra, our behind the scenes queen, she used to teach podcasting to Native youth. And then I was also an associate producer on a podcast with KNPR in Nevada. And so we really just wanted to help create another form of media to tap into those other audiences and also to put ourselves out of our comfort zones. I very much live behind the scenes and as always behind the camera. So stepping out and being in front of the camera and into the spotlight has been a learning curve for me, but it's been really fun. And I love getting to do this, and I'm really excited for what the future is and to continue this podcast. I think, we've been able to film about 5 episodes so far, and it's been really, really fun, and I'm excited to see where it goes.
Yeah, it's been so great to see the journey from just our first meeting where we were all like, okay, what is this going to look like? How is this whole experience going to shake out? And then to seeing you and Nika, who was the other host of the podcast, like hosting. I think 3 of those episodes were just you guys, and then you had 2 guests, which that's a whole different ballgame, is navigating how to have a guest on. I wanted to hear a little bit more about what you learned during the cohort and what you feel was your biggest accomplishment.
Yeah. The learning in this cohort has been really cool. There's been, the control room or the set and learning how to operate cameras, and then also like learning how to be a host. that was really, really fun and different. But learning just how much goes into creating these types of episodes and these types of shows is really fun. There's so much that goes on behind the scenes that we don't really think. And getting to learn how to test the audio levels and, run the switcher and different things like that has been really fun. And as somebody who's a little hard of hearing, I try to stay away from the audio. But yeah, it's been really great. And yeah, like I was saying earlier, like stepping in front of in front of the camera this time around, and getting to interact with our sources in that type of way is really fun. I really like to keep my interviews and my interviews as like conversations, and I feel as though it's really translated onto the set, and it just feels like we're having a regular interview, but it's just being video recorded now. So that's cool.
Yeah. What are you proudest of throughout this experience?
I think what I'm most proud of from this experience is like the little brainstorming sessions that Nika, Kyra, and I have, and are thinking of ways to, really not have this just be like a training opportunity, but to actually create this into something that Underscore is going to use and going to work towards in the future, and ways in which we can bring in different guests and have different conversations on, all of the different topics that are impacting, influencing, and are happening within Indian country, especially here in the Northwest. So that's what I'm really excited for.
Totally. What do you have a future in mind for the podcast? What do you hope happens with it?
I think this summer is going to be really cool. We have 2 new folks joining our team. We're going to have an incoming Report for America core member. I'm going to be graduating this May. At the end of May, I'll be graduating, and we're welcoming in a new Report for America core member, and then we're going to be having an intern. So giving them the opportunities to, test the waters with this podcast, and seeing what we can do for the next season. This first season, we're really focused on connecting with other Native media makers and other Indigenous media makers, and having candid conversations with them about their work and, what they're doing and how they're working to highlight what's going on in the Pacific Northwest, especially with Native communities. So seeing ways in which we can have this next season be a little bit different. Maybe we're bringing on community members and having those types of conversations. So that's something to really look forward to.
I love that. Totally. And having a bigger team to help execute that sounds amazing. I know we'll continue to keep in touch as you're working on the podcast, and hopefully we'll be able to see some episodes soon.
Right.
No rush, but when you get them, we'll be sure to put them in the show notes of this podcast so other people are able to tune in to the Underscore Native News podcast. I know it's time for us to bring in our next guest. So Jarrette, thank you for coming on, and it's been so wonderful to have you in the cohort, and thank you for agreeing to come and share your experience with us today.
Yeah, I just want to say thank you to you and the rest of the team here at MetroEast. This experience has been really fun, and it's helped me step out of my comfort zone, and I just feel more confident now being in front of the camera, and this is just really great, and I can't wait to see where this cohort goes in the next few years, just continuing to get better and improving and all of that. So thank you so much. Have a great one.
And next up, we're going to have MetaMu. All right, MetaMu. I have a funny story. I remember, so how you got involved with the cohort. I was in the equipment room, and I don't remember how it came up, but you were like, wait a second, you're having a cohort? I'm there. So anyway, it's been wonderful to have you in the cohort. I'll let you introduce yourself and maybe share a little bit about your experience.
Definitely. It's your man's MetaMu. I am the founder of Rose City Web 3, which is a tech and art collective here in Portland, Oregon. I've been a long-time supporter and fan and attendee of the different classes and all the different things that MetroEast Media does. And I thought that this is the year that I want to take it seriously.
What are some things that you learned in this cohort that you feel like are going to help you either personally, your business, or maybe something that you're developing?
Definitely. So when I came into the cohort, I was definitely thinking about a couple ideas I have for a podcast, a couple ideas I have for a show. But I think going through the cohort, I've learned a lot of other things that I didn't even think I was going to pick up. A lot of other hard skills, just learning from the equipment to the equipment room, to the cameras, to the set design, and to actually, we build community in Portland with artists, but you build community here. And so the cohort actually created a small little community and a little family of crew and people that now I'm going to forever know and, say hi to and be a part of their projects, in the future. So
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, this is week 12. I don't even think I contextualize that, but this is week 12 of the cohort, if I have that correct. That is every single week, Fridays, 9:30 to 2, we all spent that time together.
Exactly.
So yeah, these are connections that we'll continue to have going forward. These are people who, if you have a project, you've done your work on other people's projects, you say, hey, it's time.
Right. I can start being that guy. You
can start being that guy.
Part of y'all's crews and, being a real pillar in the community and in different projects. You know what I mean? So, you asked me before some things that I learned, and I come from a theater background. So I'm used to being in front of the camera a little bit. And this time I got to be behind the camera, part of the camera crew. Learn all the technical details of how to actually put the production on. And I think those are invaluable skills. So I really enjoyed that piece.
What has been, I know you said you enjoyed that piece. Is there a element of the whole experience that was your favorite?
I mean, not to shout y'all too much, but the way you all put it together was, it was solid. You know what I mean? I think even the way you framed it in the beginning, coming in with the one pager and really like getting my mindset around what are the possibilities. This is how you kind of like think about things to set yourself up for success. And I think just the whole way it flowed and the way it started off on that, get your mindset right for what you want to produce, who's your audience, what is your goal, what is your why, we talked a lot about that. So yeah, for the first cohort, I would say you all did a really great job. And other elements, I would say, like I said before, the cohort style, the framing of it, the technical skills, and the community aspect.
Yeah, it really has been a blast. It's been a blast. And we try to make it fun, right? I mean, this is serious. People are developing podcasts that are going to be really meaningful and that are going to shape dialogue around critical issues, whether that's, indigenous land, or whether that's motherhood and being a doula. Right. So these are important conversations, and that's part of the reason why y'all are here, but also keep it light, keep it fun. Right. So, do you have any projects that you have lined up for the future, or anything that you want to share with folks?
Well, for the collective, if anyone wants to get involved, Rose City Web 3 does 3 events per month. So we have an open mic night, we have a different kind of art night that we call Art Plug PDX, and then we have some other things in the works. I know next month we'll have a big party, so just stay tuned. We're always, creating community, putting on events for artists and techies alike. So if you want to get involved, you can find us at Rose City Web 3 on most platforms, or just email or reach out. Yeah.
Love. And is there anything else that I didn't ask that you'd want to share?
No, just shout out to MetroEast Media. It's a huge resource for the community. I don't think a lot of people know everything that you all do. This podcasting cohort has been incredible for me. Like some other people said, step out of my comfort zone, really learn some new skills, and really put my skills to use for the community, not just hoard those skills, but, share them out just like you all share this equipment. So
love. Yeah. I'm so happy to hear that. Yeah. Well, thank you, MetaMu. I'm going to invite on our next guest, but it's been wonderful. As I said to Jarrette, so wonderful to have you as part of the cohort and the MetroEast community. It's nice to have passionate people who care about the community and who are willing to be involved in this way. And hopefully, maybe a spoiler alert, but we're continuing this cohort in a different, with a different group next week. Oh my gosh, yeah.
Starts
next week. So yeah, if you want to come back, just keep going, keep learning. But
definitely.
Thanks
for having me.
Of course.
All right.
And next on, we're gonna have Kelley. Kelley gets musical intro because I'm so excited.
Hello.
Okay, Kelley. I want to hear about. Well, introduce yourself, of course, and then just a little overview of your experience with this cohort.
Yeah, for sure. My name is Kelley. I'm a student at Portland State University, and I'm studying film production. I do a lot of freelance photography, videography, and I'm just trying to find like my niche. That's been like the hardest thing I think throughout film school is like I went in wanting to be a director, wanting to be a writer, and I still am like passionate about those things, but I'm kind of trying to find my niche and kind of find what I like and what I'm good at for now. And that's something that's been really fun on this Vodcast cohort, just to kind of get to experiment with a bunch of different positions. And there's a ton of stuff that I didn't know was a position or like was a thing. So that's been really fun. I think the first time when I got a tour here at MetroEast, I was shocked like seeing the control room and like seeing the studio, and I was like, oh my gosh, like I'd never been in a studio situation like that. So it's really cool. I've really enjoyed this cohort and getting to learn more, and yeah.
Yeah, I completely resonate with that because, as you know, I also studied film, and the way that we're recording this podcast and just studio production in general, we're recording this with studio cameras, we have the multi-camera switcher, all of what you've trained on. That is not, there may be some schools that are covering that. I maybe had one class, but it's all this technology that generally isn't very accessible to people, not even in a college context. So if you have any more to say on that, I'd love to hear about how it was learning the difference between maybe what you've learned in school regarding film or in your own experience with photography compared to what we're learning here.
Yeah, definitely. I think something that I was really excited about was to be able to work in like a really safe, like low stress environment. I think like I've been really scared to get on like a set as like a PA, not on like a student or like a, short film, just because I'm like, I don't know the etiquette. I don't know how to like communicate with like a group of people really, like, and so it's been really fun to like figure out how to do that in a super low stress like environment here. And also just, like you were saying, I've been to 3 different film schools. I went to Santa Monica, to U of O, and then now to PSU, and like, all of them have had great resources, but like to be able to like have what you guys have here for like so accessible is crazy. Like I'm very blessed and thankful to have found MetroEast and to be a part of this cohort.
You might consider MetroEast your 4th film school.
I would say so. I feel like I've gotten like the most, I think a lot of my schooling has been so theory based. And I really went to school to get like, because I didn't have the money to get a nice camera. And like, so it's been really, this has been the most hands-on experience I think I've got working, and I've been in school for almost 5 years. So.
Yeah. Well, and a role you stepped into that's a tough role in these podcast productions has been the role of the director.
Yeah.
Could you share what the director does and a little bit about that experience?
Yeah, that was really fun because, like I said, I've always kind of gravitated towards directing. That's something I've always been really excited and passionate about. And here it was kind of just calling the shots, and like I'm kind
Literally.
of not I don't know, like I kind of talked myself out of being a director because I'm not a super like, I'm kind of an indecisive person. It's just like one of my character flaws. But I feel like when I was able to like really step into the role, I was like, something like took over me and I was able to like call shots. And like, I think just to be able to communicate with the team and, just double checking everything, and you kind of have like the oversight of everything in that role. And it was really fun. One of the things about being the director on the podcast is like kind of feeling like emotional beats in like within that, and like learning how to like tell the switcher to transition during like emotional beats. And that was probably the hardest part, but it was really fun, and I would definitely look forward to doing that again.
Yeah, it's a very different way of directing, and because when you say call the shots, you literally are calling the shots, and so you're almost taking on the role of an editor as well, because it's just, oh, boom, you've got it all stitched together for you.
Yeah.
What has been your favorite part of this entire experience?
I would say, honestly, just meeting everybody in this cohort has been so fun, and like getting to come here every Friday for a few hours and just play around. And I've loved like getting to rearrange the sets and, you know, problem solve when things get difficult.
That's good. You like that.
I do. I think it's fun. I mean, it's stressful, but it's fun. But also just getting to like, I mean, I feel like I'm repeating myself, but it's been really impactful to get my hands on equipment I never thought I would get my hands on with. So, yeah.
In your experience working on sets, whether maybe it's students or by yourself, like, we had a lot of people involved in this. So was that a new experience for you?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, growing up, I like primarily did like all my short films and stuff just by myself. And like, I did my own YouTube channel for like 8 years. And so I'm really used to like making everything just myself. So it's been so fun to get to like see and collaborate and see other people's strengths and get to like play off of that. This is probably the largest group of people I've worked with, which is awesome. I'm super excited about that.
And it's fun for the different input. I mean, even just for today, it was, do we have the black velvet thing on or off? And then we're all making a decision. So yeah, and sometimes like little nuggets of wisdom come from someone that you didn't think about it. And you're like, oh, wow, like that's a great idea. Yeah. I feel like we've had so many moments like that. So yeah, I'm really glad that you've enjoyed the experience at your 4th unofficial film school and with the Vodcast cohort. It's been really great to have you, and it's been awesome to just talk about film things with you outside of the cohort, like Severance. Great show. Severance. So shout out Severance. But yeah, I hope you can continue to be involved with us. We love our interns. We love our volunteers. We love our cohort members. We love every member of our community. It sounds so cliche, but it's true because people coming together to work on each other's projects and to give their time in that way, I really believe it's going to like yield reward, yield benefit, because your help, MetaMu's help, Mimi's help, everyone who's been involved in making this happen, like we are now launching these two new podcasts, but potentially more. And then think of all the people that's going to reach. So it's exciting to think about it that way as this like giant, like, It
is. Yeah. So well, we all feel the love too. You guys have been so great with all of us and you've been so welcoming. And I mean, it's just such a friendly, like nice space to be in. I really enjoy it here.
I love that. Well, Kelley's our last guest for today, so I'm not going to send you away. I'm just going to wrap it up here. But yeah, thank you to everyone for tuning in to the show, to listening to the experiences of Kelley, Jarrette, MetaMu, and all the other people who were involved in the cohort who actually may not be physically in front of the camera, but are behind the cameras, who are in the studio, or in the control room of the studio, who have all been switching roles. And I hope you continue to support us. You can learn more about our work at MetroEast.org and follow us on our socials at MetroEast Media. And again, in the show notes, we'll have descriptions for where to contact some of the folks who appeared on the show today. Again, my name is AnaMichele Morejon. Thank you for tuning in, and we'll see you next time, whatever that may look like.